Welcome back to our channel and welcome to the back porch. Today what I'd like to talk to you about is something that is, I believe, very vital for every one of us to consider, and that's first aid kits. You know, the world is a crazy place these days, and you know, it pays to be prepared in many ways. I believe, as a healthcare professional, I used to do trauma and critical care nursing, among other types of nursing, but my trauma and critical care sort of got in my blood, I guess. And I really believe that we need to be prepared for unexpected accidents, emergencies. And one of the ways we can do that is to keep a first aid kit with us. We have chosen, my husband and I have chosen to prepare a model it's tough. It's got a gasket on the inside. This is a .30 caliber plastic ammo box that we got from a local farm supply store. I think it was Rural King. I don't know if they have Rural King where you are, but these were fairly cheap. I think they were less than $5. And the fact that they're not waterproof, but they're water resistant, easy to open, plenty roomy. They've got the gasket in it, so it will help to keep stuff dry. And it's just a nice car kit. Now, this is not one that you would want to take with you backpacking or hiking or anything like that, but it's a really nice kit for a vehicle. It's not going to get smushed or anything, so, and it's easy to see. So this is a good kit. But what I would like to do, we've put together a few kits for sale, and most of them are already called for. But I would like to just teach you how to put together a kit and why I use the things that I do. Now, are there other things that I could put in here? Yes, and there may be things that I choose to put in my first aid kit that you may not choose to or may not be trained to use or what have you. I may put sutures in my kit. I may put a tourniquet in my kit, which I think is a really good idea. But if you don't know how to use a tourniquet, I don't recommend using it, because you could unnecessarily cause someone to lose an arm or a leg. So I guess, you know, that's a good springboard for me to take a minute and just encourage you. If you have not taken a first aid kit, a first aid class, I encourage you to do so. It's something that may save someone's life, even a family member, but it's just knowledge that I believe we all need to have, and especially if we consider, I am a Christian, and I believe that those of us who choose to be faithful to God in the future will not be able to buy or sell. And in fact, I believe if you look at society right now, we're being set up for that. If you consider the circumstances and you're thinking, you're already seeing that if you don't comply with the norm, you won't be able to buy and sell. And so I really believe that now is the time that we need to be preparing. We need to be getting the supplies that we need. So let me just open this kit here. I'll rearrange the camera and I'll show you what I've put in this very lightweight, portable Molly. That's the military term for, I forget what it stands for, but anyway, it's got all these little straps, and I'll show you. Let me reposition the camera and I'll break this down for you. Okay, let me just show you a few features about the bag itself. I thought this was kind of cool. It's got a little Velcro first aid cross on it. You can move it to either side. And this is a Velcro strip that you could stick other things to. It has these sewn-on straps that you could, I have a flashlight stuck through mine, you can see, and I think my scissors are in here too. These kits are a little bit nicer than the one that I'm using right now, and I'm probably going to transfer one of these. It has these straps here on the back that you can wear on a belt or strap it to a backpack if you're backpacking. And this strap right here goes around, and the purpose of this strap is to keep the pack itself attached to its Velcro base. Let me show you what I mean. If you undo this, say you're in an emergency, you have somebody that's hurt and you quick need your pack, you can just rip that right off your belt and go, and you're ready to go. And this part stays on your belt. So once we open it up, this is a tri-fold, very nice. You can fold it out, and let me just tell you what all's in here. Each kit has a SAM splint. Now a SAM splint, if you don't know, it's very flexible aluminum that's padded. You can cut it and make a finger splint. These are 36 inch, and I recommend you get 36 inch. It doesn't have to be SAM splint brand, but it just has to be, you know, a good quality. You can use it as an arm splint. You can use it several different ways to splint the arm. You can use it under a broken leg. You can use it as a C-collar. There's ways that you can fold this. It's outside the scope of this video to demonstrate that, but I encourage you to consider purchasing a SAM splint for your kit. We have two, I think this is 1.5 inch wide athletic tape. And athletic tape, if you're not familiar with it, is very strong, very durable. I also like I think it's called silk tape. I like silk tape too. But 1.5 inch is a good width. You know, you can actually make ankle braces out of this. Really good stuff. And then we have a sterile roll gauze. It does not necessarily have to be sterile, but that's what we got. So then we have a syringe for irrigation. We have a pair. Now these I was not going to put bandage scissors in here. I was just going to let people get what they wanted. And I ended up getting these pretty cheap, and these are kind of cheesy, which that's the only thing in the kit that's on the cheesy side. So you might, you know, if you've ordered one of our kits, you might want to get a replacement scissors, but they'll do the trick. Cayenne powder, 160,000 heat unit cayenne powder. You don't have to have that hot. You can use 90,000 heat unit. Why would you need that in a first aid kit? Well, if you don't know, cayenne will help to stop bleeding. It will stop a heart attack. It will stop a stroke. So cayenne powder is very useful. You can also put a cayenne tincture. I did not choose to put any tinctures in my kit. Okay, let's break it on down here. We have a couple of 3-inch 3x3 gauze pads, excuse me, a 4x4 sterile gauze pad, a cravat. If you don't know what a cravat is, I encourage you to take a first aid kit. And then we have, and I just left it in the package so that you could, you know, people could read how to use it. It's got a little card in there. These are for removing splinters and ticks, and you can actually put it on a keychain or something, but I left it in the pack so that people could see how to use it, read about how to use it. I have a little emergency blanket in here, and I have a little packet of honey. Why in the world would you have honey in a first aid kit? Honey, if you don't know, is excellent for wounds, burns, infected wounds. Bacteria cannot grow in the presence of honey. So I have honey, and then I have here a little 1-ounce Nalgene bottle of wound powder. And this is a very specific blend that will help take care of biofilm, infection, and will help to increase tissue repair. So those are very excellent for wound care. And then I have a little vial of my boo-boo balm that I make in here. I think that's about 1 ounce. Moving over here, of course, we have some gloves, a couple of pairs of gloves, an ace wrap. This is charcoal. Every first aid kit should have charcoal. You can use this, of course, externally and internally. If somebody gets food poisoning from food that's growing bacteria or what have you, you can give them charcoal. You can use it for bites and stings and things like that. And I'll be quite honest, in my first aid kit, I probably am going to put a little bit of vitamin C, because vitamin C is so powerful to neutralize any kind of poison. It's got this little, and it's catching on, my zipper's catching. Okay, let me just take everything out of here so you can see what's in here and what I strongly recommend you consider. We have some Steri Strips. Steri Strips are good for wound closure, for clean cuts. Like if somebody cuts themselves with their knife, you can use Steri Strips and pull that wound closed if you're out hiking or something like that. And along with that, Tincture of Benzoyl, and this is a little glass ampule, and what you do, you open it and you take the little glass ampule, and it's inside of a plastic ampule, and you just squeeze it, and that glass is very thin. It will break, and the benzoin will come down on the tip here. And if you're not familiar with Tincture of Benzoyl, it's very, very sticky. And so if you put that on the skin on either side of the wound, it helps the Steri Strips to stick on better. So we have that. We have, of course, some Band-Aids, some wet wipes, just if you need to clean up your hands or your face. And then we have some moleskin. A blister on a hike or in a survival situation or what have you, a blister can put you out of commission on your heel or your toe or whatever. So moleskin is very important. So those are the things that I have put into this kit. I'm still pondering, if there's anything else that I would like to add. But right now, this is what I have. As I said, I might put some vitamin C powder in there. But I just want to encourage you, while you can, get these supplies in your home, in your kits. You can find most of this kit, this little bag here, you can find them on eBay. Just be sure that you get the kind that folds all the way out, the tri-fold, because if you don't, you will regret it. You want one that folds out flat. Another thing that works good for this is those travel toiletry kits that fold up, roll up, and then you can hang them and all the stuff. You have the panel that folds down. Those make good first aid kits as well. But these were not all that expensive. I mean, they were less than $10. And so anyway, just encourage you to gather your supplies and put your kit together now while you can, and don't forget to take a first aid class. We'll see you on the next video.